particularly South Africans, black South Africans, not wanting their brothers to be in their country, and particularly Nigerians. Nigeria played a very, very significant role in the darkest years of South Africa, of the blacks in South Africa, during the apartheid regime. They were killing them, they were imprisoning them, and in our own government of the Eastern region, by my party, the NTNC then, we collected a lot of young boys and young girls from South Africa, from Zimbabwe, from Tanzania, from Malawi, and gave them scholarship in Nigerian secondary schools. Gave them the education here in Nigerian secondary schools. The existing grammar schools there had about 20 South Africans, 20 Africans, East and Central African, when they were being oppressed by the whites, we were giving them education. Most of their politicians, we trained them in the NCNC political training school at Yaba. They went home and became ministers in their country. When Nelson Mandela was being hunted by South African apartheid government and British intelligence service, he went to Tanzania. At Tanzania, they wanted Tanzania being a small country, they wanted to round him up there because there were so many whites there. And so he found his way to Nigeria in 1961. And when he came to Nigeria, Dr. Giwa was then the Governor General, not yet President of Nigeria. So he reported to Zik. And Zik said, okay, we'll host you here. We'll keep you in this country. We'll give you refuge here.
As you can see, I have noticed almost everybody have a lot of Nigerians have story to tell about South Africa. Yes, they have a lot of story to tell about South Africa. But my question is it that other African countries they did not help South Africa? Oh, I just have a question. I'm just asking. Because if the only Nigerians are coming out and saying that in the time of our time, they help South Africa, they do this. If the only Nigeria help, or because of say Nigerians are running there, because of say Nigerians are now South Africa is favoring a lot of Nigerians. That's why Nigerians have story to tell. Or is because of that? Oh, me, I don't just know. I just ask question because I've been seeing a lot of video of Nigerians coming out talking how they help South Africans and all those things. And all these stories, I find majority of it to be lie. Yes, I find a lot of it to be lie. Because what South Africa want their country to be better. They want their country to be better country, and they find out that the people who are spoiling their country is Nigerian. That is what they say. I'm not the one saying it. South Africa say that Nigerians are spoiling their country. They are selling drugs. They are selling a lot, and they want Nigerian. No, they say that all Nigerians must go. It's not what they are fighting for. They are saying that all those who know they legit, who come they know they legit, because there's no Nigerian refugee. There's no refugee. Some Nigerians are claiming they are refugees in South Africa. How do you become a refugee? That I don't know. Refugee now when maybe they are fighting in some country, terrible country, then maybe South Africa government will go there and carry them, bring them to some part of area, like the way we have refugee camp in Ghana, because Ghana government go and bring Liberia refugee to Ghana. Yes, but Nigeria, nothing happened. Nobody take you anywhere. How you become a refugee in South Africa? That is the questions people are asking. Although you can listen to this man's history, but for me, I see that history to be like fake. I don't see anything. But although listen and see what you can judge about it, just listen to the story. But to me, it's like fake. It's not real to me because I don't believe it. They are needing favor. If you need favor, do the right thing. Not be about telling fake history. Although listen to him.
Let me find the nationalist that has similar thinking with you, with whom you feel comfortable and at home. And Zik sent for me. I went to see Zik at the State House. I introduced Nelson Mandela and said that I should take him and he should stay with me. Sorry. Mandela came to me and lived with me in my house at number 5 of Kotiebo Street, Ikoyi, Lagos, for 6 good months. The British intelligence service were looking for him, desperately for him. South Africa had no representation in Nigeria then. The apartheid government of South Africa did not have a representation in Nigeria then. So the British people were fighting for them. They were looking for him, but it was impossible for them to get to Mandela because Mandela was with me. I wasn't a soft person in nationalism there. The British knew me. They wouldn't get near me. If they got near me, the person would burn. So with Mandela, Mandela felt free with me. Most often we would go to the clubs in the night, we'd dance at the Empire Hotel, Kakadu Hotel, and everywhere. We would go and dance high life and so forth. And they dare not touch him. And then once a month, I used to come home every month. Every month, Mandela and myself will come to this village. We'll stay here in this village, spend the weekend, Friday, Saturday, maybe Monday, Tuesday, we'll go back to Lagos. And there's an African diet I like very much, abacha. The flat one, not the mbagobunu. So Mandela liked it very much. And my mother was always very fond of preparing it for us. Even when we were going home, back to Lagos, he would package something for us to take to Lagos because Mandela liked it. So after about 6 months, Mandela started thinking, he said, look, comrade, this my stay in Nigeria is not productive. It's true that I'm free here, but my people are still slaves. I think I better go home. If I go home, one of two things will happen. They will either kill me or they will send me to prison. Whichever way they do will give inspiration to other nationalists to fight more and more. So he said he was going home. So we decided he should go home. Then I rallied a few of the known old Zikis. Then we escorted him to the airport, and then we sat together, and then we sang the Zikis anthem. My life has been a joy to me, no matter where I go. I've learned to live in harmony with kindly friend of food. We sang it for him, and then he boarded the aircraft, went home. Barely 3 months after he got home, they arrested him, and they sent him to prison for life. Significantly, the typical Mandela, he wrote me a letter from prison, signed in prison number so and so and so. He wrote me that there was a Dr. Barang, the son of a lawyer who defended them, that the apartheid government was trying to get that Dr. Barang to imprison him, that he is running away to Nigeria, that I should help him get a job in Nigeria. He was a geologist. So the Dr. Barang came to Nigeria, reported to me, and I arranged for the University of Ife to offer him a job as a lecturer. So that was from Mandela from prison, writing to think about somebody else who is free outside. That is the nature of person Mandela was. So when he was eventually discharged from prison after 27 years, he came to Nigeria to say thank you to us. By then, Nigeria was under military dictatorship by Abacha. So, but Mandela said, whatever happened, he wanted to see two people in Nigeria, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe and Mbazika Mench. So Zik was then a man at free, no more president, no more governor at Abuja, at Nsukka. So they arranged, the military governor at with them was one Robert Akonobi. So Akonobi arranged for Mandela to meet with Zeke and sent for me. They sent a message to me that Mandela was at Enugu and they wanted to see me. So I went to Enugu with my wife and we met with Mandela. Mandela introduced me and my wife to his wife because he came with his wife, Winnie, I think Winnie or something. And they came together. So we had some time at Enugu and we escorted him, he went home. When he died, I wanted to go for the funeral. But the government, the federal government refused to sponsor me. Good luck, Jonathan. I even begged, I said, hey, give me a lift in your aircraft, a free aircraft. Then the secretary to the government, one man from Africa, he said, look, what are you going to do in South Africa? The way they do their funeral is not the way we do it here. It's for you to stand on the street to wave when they carry the coffin. So I said, no. So P.W.B. was the governor of Anambra State then. So 4 days to the thing at South Africa. P.W.B. had this and sent for me. I was at Abuja trying to beg these people to let me go. So P.W.B. said, no, don't worry, Anambra government, I will sponsor you. So P.W.B. sponsored me, myself, my PA, and my secretary. We went to South Africa. But the significant thing was that my going to South Africa was the only way of letting the world know that Nigeria ever played a role in the affairs of Mandela and South Africa. Our president, Jonathan, went there. He sat among the VIPs in the field. Only one spokesman was allowed per continent. So one woman spoke for Africa. The American president spoke. Somebody spoke for Europe, and so forth. So Jonathan was there. Nobody took notice of him, and he went home. It was only when I arrived that the Nigerian mission in South Africa became very happy. Here is Nigeria. They surprised me by being at the airport at 5 a.m. to give me VIP treatment. The Nigerian embassy in South Africa. They took me, gave me a code, and then arranged for me to go to Mandela's house to sign the condolence register. From there, I went to Pretoria, where they led him in state, and then went to the place, paid my respect to him. Then they took me to his village. You see? I saw some bullet marks on the wall and so forth when they were fighting for this thing. But the most important thing was that they arranged a big dinner party of international people for me and arranged a world press conference for me to address. It was there that South Africa and the world knew that Nigeria played a very significant role in the struggle of South Africa blacks. So now that I'm hearing about people, South Africans, killing Nigerians or other Africans, I feel so sad. Because in their darkest hour, many of these countries, particularly Nigeria, played her role. Even during military regime, the military in Nigeria, under Abacha of all people, received Mandela, and then I think they gave him something when he came. But Mandela was not bothered with money. Wealth was not his concern in his life. But it's true that people from Zimbabwe, from Malawi and other areas were rushing down to South Africa because of its development, because of its mineral resources and so forth. And there's more wealth there. But the South African people, most of them, it will be unkind for me to say that they are lazy, but they are not playing their role in seeking employment. They rather like to enjoy the new freedom they have than working. And so when others come to work to earn their salary, they become jealous. It makes one feel very uncomfortable. Well, when they are killing blacks, perhaps they don't discriminate among Nigerians. All blacks are blacks. But Nigeria played a very significant role in the struggle by the blacks of South Africa to free themselves from the yoke of imperialism called apartheid.
Welcome to Nigeria, part 2. Let's talk about your toilets. And you want to talk about South African toilets. Let's talk about your toilets. Oh, wow. You're talking about South African toilets. Wow. This is so disgusting, Shem. It's disgusting. What is that I see up there? Open defecation in Nigeria. And you want to talk about South Africa. Yeah, you picked the wrong fight with the wrong country. Oh, I'm not done. Patrice coming. Boko Haram this time.
Oh shit, 30 million South Africans are living with HIV/AIDS. Young children, men and women have contacted HIV/AIDS. You met a woman for the first day. It's time for you to carry out a blood test to make sure that your partner is clean. You want to choke, you want to go deep. After going deeper, you got what you want. Now you are spreading the disease to young children. The world have changed. Women are not doing shit for money. The women you see in those days and the women you see today are not the same. Some are now knocking dog, horse, elephant, even rabbit. So my advice for you, brother, is that once you see a woman that you love, first thing you need to do is to carry out a blood test to save your life from what? From HIV.
Foreigners in South Africa, especially Nigerians, anytime they see South African people driving exotic car, driving nice car, do you know what they always say? They are driving it on credit. That's why it's a borrowed. It's giving. They are paying installment that they didn't buy it. That's what they always say. That's my own. I bought it cash. They don't buy it cash, so they didn't pay for it. They haven't finished paying for it. Why do you all like suffering? Yes, it's a borrowed car. Yes, it's on installment. And what? And then when you get yourself customized with suffering, when you get your life shaped with pains and sorrow, with struggling, with hustle, that's how your mentality will be. Because the car is on installment. You think it doesn't make any sense. That is you that suffered and make all the money and pay cash. That's you are the one who is enjoying life. My friend, listen to me. Even the life we live is borrowed. Did you hear me? You heard that? Even the life we are living is we borrowed it. You can own all those things, you still die. So you live the best you can. Enjoy your life. You see, Nigerians, that mentality we have. Anyway, I made a new hairstyle. Thank you very much. that lifestyle of hardship, getting too comfortable with suffering. I used to call them suffering and smiling. We suffer and we smile. If a car is your dream car and it's a working country, you go there and take the car and drive it. Even if you're paying slowly, it does not matter. It doesn't change nothing. You enjoy your life to the fullest. We mustn't have that mentality of thinking that we are supposed to suffer in order to enjoy. That's why I made a song.
Nigeria is a country of 250 million people, and it's one of the largest economies on the continent. And Nigeria, okay, Nigerians are some of the smartest people on the continent. Nigeria has its problems, that's its problems, and it's possibly a leadership problem, but we are working on it, okay? So I've told you about Nigeria. Let me continue to tell you about South Africa. Thank you very much. South Africans have flashy names that they call immigrants from Africa. They have a lot of flashy names that they give to immigrants from Africa. The names range from Magrigamba, Kwere Kwere, Maputo, Gongongon. Currently, there's another one called Jollof. Now, here's the thing. The name Kwere Kwere stands out. And here is the origin of Kwere Kwere. Kwere Kwere stems from the fact that when a lot of migrants from African origin started coming into South Africa to help extract the mineral resources from beneath the earth, to help extract the gold and the diamonds, yeah? So the South Africans found out that they could not understand their languages. So they said, their languages sounds like Kwere, 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 Kwere. So because their languages were funny to them, and they were not intelligent enough to try to learn more about them, these are the people that are helping you to develop your countries by helping you to mine your natural resources. But they just gave them a nickname, Kwere Kwere. Now, Kwere Kwere is supposed to be a derogatory name for anybody that is from Africa that is in South Africa. But the people from Europe and the Americas are given the name tourists. But any black immigrant, no matter how intelligent, no matter how powerful, no matter how rich, to a black South African is a Kwere Kwere. And the name Kwere Kwere stands out. And one thing I observed about that name Kwere Kwere is that most times, listen carefully, most times, the people that are being called Kwere Kwere are actually much better looking, more civilized, more educated, more advanced, more hardworking than the people that are calling them Kwere Kwere. Just rewind and listen to that statement again. So I am Kwere Kwere.
Story time, how my Congolese mom reacted when I told her that I'm about to get married to a South African man. So my husband told me that he's ready to go meet my family. So I have to go home and tell at least someone to break the news so that they must not be shocked when he's going to send a letter. So I told my siblings, and when I saw my mom, I called her at the corner. I'm like, Mama, come, I have to break the news to you because this is an exciting news. Every single parent is waiting for it from their daughters. So I called my mom at the corner. I'm like, Mama, I have good news to tell you. I have someone who wants to come and see you guys. But the person, he's not a Congolese. Guys, keep in mind we are already at the corner. I called my mom at the corner because, you don't tell the father, you tell the mother first. We are already at the corner. After telling my mom the man is not Congolese, he's a South African, my mom pulled me at the corner again. Like now it's another corner. So from a corner to another corner. And then my mom was like, come here. So in Joburg there, you don't have Congolese men. So Congolese men don't see you there. I'm like, Mama, I see Congolese men there, but no one asked to marry me among all those Congolese. So the only person who asked to marry me is the person that I'm dating. And it just happened that he's not Congolese. I'm like, so you don't go away Congolese party, like you don't know any Congolese. I'm like, Mama, I do go, but I didn't meet someone that we started dating, we love each other to a point where, like, you know, we marry. And my mom, she was like you can see on her face that this one is traumatized, like she's not okay, this one is not gonna sleep well. Like she was just like looking at me. And so, do you know this mama pastor of ours? This mama pastor got a son, and the son is kind of like your age, and he's working and he's cute. So you guys didn't meet or something, like you guys didn't meet. I'm like, I know him, but there's no something like, you know, dating or falling in love. No, there's no such. So what about my mom started hooking me up with people's sons and stuff at the same time, at that corner, same corner. I'm like, so if there are no much Congolese there in Joburg, so why don't you like come here? You see here where we are, there's a lot of Congolese, and they always arrange parties where you can meet. Like my mom just wants me to marry a Congolese because he doesn't understand this thing of, you know, going outside the culture. And I'm the first one in the family who got married outside my culture, you know. So it was something that new to them. I'm like, Mama, no. I'm like, so what makes you say yes to this one? Then I started like explaining, he's like this, he's like that, he's a good man. He's, you know, I started like telling my mom about the person I'm about to marry, you know. And it's like, so, okay, so if you say he's a good one, so you okay speaking English every single day? Every single day? I'm like, like, Mama, of course, like, you know, okay, okay. And then I told my mom the story, like everything was fine, but you can see like she's not fine. I came back to Johannesburg every single time, like I was giving them an update. No, I'm gonna come there next week to bring the letter. My mom was like, are you serious? Like, are you sure this is what you want? This is what you're going for? Like my mom didn't want to hear the story. My mom just didn't want to hear, even though like she was really trying her best to be okay with it, like until the last minute, Then after everything, when everything is done, my partner went and met them for the very first time, and it was their first time meeting my parents, because in my culture, in my house, in a Congolese culture, you don't just bring your boyfriend, like this is my boyfriend, this is my parents, and they're okay with it, they clap their hands. It doesn't work like that. You can date with your person for like 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, and your parents don't even know him, and we're okay with that. They take it as a respect. If you bring your partner to them, they'll take it as a disrespect, like you introducing this one to us, who is he, like, you know. So it was their first time meeting my husband. The day that he came with his parents to introduce themselves, that was the first time they met him. And when they met him, they can see this one is like a good guy, like, you know, just by meeting him the first time. And the more they're talking to him, the more they, you know, getting to know him. Today, my mom, he's a big fan of my husband. My mom will just call me one day, what are you cooking today? Oh no, today we're just eating fishaways. No, you have to cook for your husband, you have to do this. And whenever he's talking to me on the phone, my mom is not gonna hang up until she speaks to my husband and asking, is everything okay? And my husband will be like, no, everything is not okay. She's making me eat takeaways every day. Mom will be like, send her to me. So now they are best friends. My mom and my husband, they are now best friends. So that was my mom's reaction.
This is a message from the heavens, umyalezo kaThixo, to South Africans, to South Africa. I wake up this morning and the voice started talking later on this morning. At first I listened, but the voice kept on talking subtly to me. I don't know if that's the right English. Koda iti message. This is what the message is saying. I think let me say it in English for all South Africans. What should happen in South Africa? What is going to make God happy? Because God is a God of unity. God is a God of love. God is a God of hope. The voice of God is saying to me because it's talking just now before I made this video. I had to sit down. Yeah, when I look a bit scruffy because I haven't even showered or anything. The voice says, I want peace in South Africa. I want prosperity in South Africa. I am for South Africa. I am South Africa. The past brought divisions through the time that we all know, the time of apartheid. It brought divisions and hate in South Africa. God helped to resolve what needed to be resolved at the time. Now the voice is saying for things to even be better for South Africa, because God has blessed and is still blessing and is still prepared to bless South Africa going forward. He is saying for a prosperous and a united South Africa, what he needs from us as South Africans is to stand against the division that politicians and the government is trying to do. He says there must be no fights in South Africa. There must be no divisions in South Africa, because that has been done enough. He wants South Africans to stand up against those, let me start with this one, against those who want land to be taken away from those who have it and worked it and want it to be taken away without compensation. He says people who are already in the land, I'm talking about the white people now, who are occupying land. And this land they're occupying, they are working it for the betterment of South Africa, because I think it's farmers we're talking about. It's people who have properties already in this land that are up and all of that. If we try, as the South African government or whoever wants to do this thing of taking land without compensation, if we carry on with that, that is going to bring more division and hate amongst South Africans. Though, God loves all South Africans, black, white, Indian, colored. He says, those who want to do that, let's stop doing that. And people must stand up against that as South Africans for the sake of peace in South Africa, because God is a God of peace. God is a God of unity. God is a God of hope. God is a God of love. So God is saying there is enough land. There's enough land in South Africa that's free. The government must stand up and start helping South Africans. They can develop even new towns in the areas that are not built yet. There's enough land. So in order for peace to be sustained, which is what God is for and what God is trying to achieve in South Africa and is going to achieve, because so far no wars, no civil unrest have happened that are serious in South Africa, because God has always been amongst us. Whilst we're trying to resolve our issues as South Africans, God has proved that he is amongst us, because things ultimately have worked out for us with no fights. So God is asking us as South Africans to stand against those who say people must take land from others and not pay them. He is saying that will cause divisions, that will cause hate, that will cause unrest. So God is saying the government must take its responsibility of finding land and not make excuses and saying that they want to take land from others when people come to them and saying, do things for us. God is saying, he is for South Africans standing up and saying, no, we want the government or whoever wants to take land without compensation to just rather leave that land. We rather want you, government, to build us houses or build towns or whatever you want to do. Develop areas that are not developed, because South Africa has a lot of free land that you see as you travel, in order for South Africa to have peace. This is a message from heaven, from God Almighty himself. Because God is working South Africa. God is helping South Africa, because as you can see, a lot of people don't want good for South Africa around the world. But South Africa is still thriving regardless of the hate it's getting. Why? Because God is with us. Believe that and you're going to see what's going to happen. Let's work together, South Africans. Let's unite Even if people want us to be divided, let's unite. A white person is my brother because a South African brother is a South African sister. An Indian is a South African sister, a South African brother. A colored, I also have descendants that I have mixed race. So even in my blood, I'm colored, but I take myself as an African. So I'm saying, Sens are us, right? Zulu is me because my father is Zulu and my mother is Tembu, not even Xhosa. Xhosa is me because I was born in the Eastern Cape. So we are Nguni and we are proud. Tswana is me because those are my sisters and brothers. We share the same forefathers. So I'm saying, God is saying, let's not allow politicians and government to divide us any further because they're using excuses saying we want land without compensation. That doesn't make sense. So the God is saying, let's stand up and say, no, we don't want that government. We don't want that. We want unity in South Africa. We are one. We are South Africans and we are proud South Africans. We want God to bless us because we're a country that's united, a country that's working together to build a prosperous nation for the sake of us and the descendants that are and the generations that are still to come, because the generations are ours. It's going to be our grandchildren, great-grandchildren. It's going to be our children. So we don't want to leave South Africa in a mess. South Africa is already developed. So whoever wants us to fight, whoever wants us to argue, God is saying no to that, and He's going to help us and protect us against those who want to cause havoc in this country. The government needs to do its part. That's what the message from God is saying. Government must start getting up and helping people and not making empty promises. Must build houses, must build infrastructure, must do everything to help people, must create job opportunities. And the biggest of all, as I finish this message, the voice from God is saying, government, it's your responsibility to clean this country in terms of illegality. That's illegal foreigners that are roaming the streets freely without being asked for passports or nothing. And those people are taking opportunities from South Africans. That's a fact. So government, it's your responsibility to clean that mess so that South Africans can start having opportunities, because opportunities in South Africa are plenty, but now they are blocked off by those who've come and are working here illegally and staying here illegally. That's what the voice of God is saying. And God is going to clean this country, and it has started, so that South Africans enjoy peace and unity and prosperity from heaven in their own country. In Jesus' name I pray. I pray that God carries on cleaning South Africa. And I thank God for talking to me. I thank God for talking to us as South Africans, because He's not only talking to me, He's talking to others as well. That's why you're finding things like, I don't want to mention political parties, but you find people now standing up and saying, no, enough is enough. This is a no from heaven for taking land without compensation. God wants South Africans to work together, find common solutions that are going to help each and every nation or race in South Africa, because to God, there's no difference in race. We all belong to God. Amen.
Now, I began to ask questions. Why Nigerians don't want to leave South Africa? They are busy on social media, dragging South Africa, saying, no, they help South Africa. Then I find out that in South Africans, there are a lot of free medical, like if you are sick, you go to hospital, they will treat you free and so many things like that. There are a lot of free things, then government is also assisting people there. I say, wow. Now, Nigerians, some Nigerians who are there, they are using that kind of money to build a home in Nigerians. That's what I hear. I don't know if it is truth. They say Nigerians are enjoying South Africa a lot. They are like they enjoy they enjoy in South Africa. That's why I hear. Me, I've never been, like, I've never stayed there before, but I visited South Africa. I think it was once, but I think it was 2018. I visited South Africa 2018 before COVID-19. I went there for 1 month just for vacations, and since then I've not been there. I don't really know, because I didn't stay there. Then I don't know how things was going there. Yes, a lot of Nigerians they are talking good of South Africa, how South Africa government are trying, but the only thing they don't like about South Africa is because of the fighting, and they say South Africa hating them. But my own conclusion is that if South Africa hates you, you come back to your country, You come and fix your country like the way South Africa do their country, where you went there, where it suit you. You too, come and fix your own country for other foreign nationals to travel to Nigerians are also enjoying the same thing that South Africans you are enjoying in South Africa. You are enjoying free medications and other things. In Nigeria, who go treat you free? Nobody. I hope you're sorry. So I wish you Nigerians should come back to your country. The same thing that you are enjoying there, come and open it in Nigeria so that another foreign national will come and enjoy it so that you will know how it is. Yes, you know how it be. Although I just want to end everything here. Just want to appreciate you. My name is Master Manager Nigerian. If you want to reach out to me, look at my bio. My WhatsApp number is there. You can send me audio voice. What do you have to send to the people? Don't forget to subscribe. But Nigerian must come back to Nigeria so that we can fix our country. Stop dragging South Africa for no reason. South Africa don't wrong you. Stop dragging them. All right. God bless you and bye-bye for now. Thank you.
No forgot to subscribe to Master Manager Nigerian News. Subscribe, okay. Subscribe.